teaching in Oak Harbor for the last 10 years, business and marketing. I graduated from Mount Vernon High School in '95. Made my way around and I taught overseas for a year and a half, Slovakia in Central Europe. Right after college, I went over and taught for City University in one of their branch campuses over there. There were two points I have to say. One was my business classes in high school that I really enjoyed, but I didn't enjoy the teacher. And it would just kind of, I saw the value in the subject and I loved the class, but I didn't like how it was being taught. And this is a lot of fun and I love this stuff and I want to learn more, but it's not a lot of fun with this teacher. And then as I got into like auto shop and some other career and technical classes, there was a teacher that had a big impact on me. He was just kind of pushed me that way. It's like, you should think about, maybe teaching or something along those lines. And the two just kind of went together and I ended up business and marketing and career and technical and teaching. And 10 years later, here I am enjoying it, having a lot of fun. There was one, Bill Chandler in Central Washington University, that he had relevancy in the things that he taught because he came from advertising. He owned an advertising agency. And so he kind of threw everything else away and said, this is how it really is. And it just that connection, and then we just kind of built a relationship from there, and everyone's kind of like a friend with him, more of a good friend compared to, oh, I'm the teacher up here and you need to stay in your seat, you're a student. So I'd say Bill was a big part of my life and just developing into who I am in the classroom. They're ready to make that jump. They're still kids, but they're ready to make that jump into adulthood. And to be part of that is really kind of cool to see their ideas and how they develop, and then you start talking about where they want to go, and it's so valuable and rewarding at that level in the high school. I think I'm pretty fortunate in that I've experienced quite a bit of kind of that light bulb coming on when kids participate in DECA and they go to these conferences. They spend 3 days dressed up in business attire. So the guys are wearing ties and the girls are dressed up, and it's not something the kids normally do and they complain about at first, but by the time they spend 3 days at a conference, say down in Bellevue, they're loving it. For whatever reason, it's something that clicks in there, and you can see it when they want to continue to be dressed up and they want to continue to do these activities that we do in DECA. And that's probably the biggest, you see the most kind of impact in their life, or the biggest, flip of the switch and they go, oh yeah, this is something I want to do. I want to be involved with business people. Contact parents at home, and sometimes they're like, well, I'll talk to them, but we'll see what happens because the kid's not passing. So the role that I would hope to have is that person that when they go home, hey, what did you do in school today? Did you learn anything? Do you have any homework that we need to take care of? And maybe just ask about their friends, or what was the most exciting part of your day? Mostly, I hope that they can take care of the part at home, trust that the teachers are doing what they should be doing. If not, then yeah, definitely talk to us. Be that bridge that if that kid is shy and doesn't want to approach us, then be that one to kind of help get them going and talking. Probably the challenge, one that I face on a daily basis, is the amount of kids I have in my classroom. And I would imagine that it's going to be the same across the country where classroom sizes are getting larger. And so I figure with a 55-minute period, with 31 kids, 32 kids, I'm looking at less than 2 minutes I get to spend with every one of those kids that comes into my room. Then you put on, you got role and daily objectives and everything else that you do, and I mean, I get less than 60 seconds with a lot of these kids. And so you try to get around and make that connection with them every day. And it's tough. It's really tough to really try to relate with that kid and find out what's going on in their life, what challenges they're having, just with the classroom material. And you have a kid that's really struggling, you spend time with them, and now you have 30, 25 seconds with all the rest of the kids. Probably greeting every kid when they come into my classroom. Just showing them that it's a welcome place. That no matter what else happens, that they can come in my room and feel welcomed. I might be getting ready for the next class at my desk. I still try to greet them as they come in, or if I'm up walking around just talking to some of them what's going on. I try to make a point of greeting at least every kid, whether it be like a pat on the back or just say, hey, across the room, whatever it is, to just make that contact. The story about DECA would be about trying to sell the kids on the idea of taking a chance is what it comes down to. You get them a first-year student, and we have our competition fairly early, for our first competition fairly early. And you have to kind of nudge the kids because they have no idea what it's about because they're not exposed to it at a younger age. And you just gotta take a chance, just come out and give it a shot, just try it. And then they get out and they get involved with it and they find out what we do for competition and some of the things the club represents, and they eye the store and they go, well, maybe I'd like to work in the store someday. It looks kind of cool, kind of fun. And it normally starts as just that little pebble that you give them that they pick up, and it just kind of starts rolling. And so they get involved and they come to maybe one of the social things that we do or community service, and they're involved with that, and they see the other kids involved. And it just grows a little bit and gets a little bit bigger. And then as like a junior or senior, they start to think about, yeah, I want to do well at competition. I want that trip. I want to go down to Bellevue. I want to spend 3 days dressed up in business clothes, be punished, but still get to hang out, and have fun with these guys that are all interested in business. Maybe I'd like to do a career. And that's where it starts to grow a little bit more. And then they get on a bus, they head down to Bellevue, and they spend those 3 days down there. Now they're carrying this little pebble that's grown, this thing that, yeah, I think I want to do this. This is something that might be kind of exciting. And then it evolves to, yeah, I want to work to get to, go to state, go to nationals, or most of them say, I wish I would have started this sooner. So then when they go off to college, I start looking at, well, how can I be involved with DECA, the DECA branch at the collegiate level? To define DECA, it depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to a high school student, it's that group that you can maybe just get a foot in and get started with. You come in, try some of this business stuff, and find out you might actually be okay with it. It's something or a place just to get started. If you're talking to an adult and go, what is DECA? You tell them it's an association of marketing students. The DECA doesn't mean anything anymore. It used to be Distributive Education Clubs of America, but now it's a group of marketing kids that are going out and doing some pretty cool things.